Paper Flowers. Chapter 10. A New Normal. Nemesis enters the room. "There's no escape!" he exclaims menacingly. Meanwhile, the prince is crouched down on the floor, scratching a dog's belly. "Who's a good guard dog?" "You are," he coos. Nemesis stares on in astonishment. "How did you... He doesn't even like my minions!" Prince looks up and then grins down at the dog. "Oh my goodness, I'm special!" Nemesis readies a spell. "Give me back my dog!" he commands. Prince looks up, realizing he's crossed the line, and screams, prompting the Nemesis to let out his battle cry. Roman arrived in the Commons one Sunday August afternoon to find Virgil leaning against the counter, smirking at Patton, who looked a bit puzzled. "What seems to be the matter?" he inquired. Things had been tense since Virgil learned of the seat's warning. He had told Roman that Logan and Patton couldn't tell him even if they wanted to, which was proof enough, if Roman had needed any, that Virgil still cared about the others and wanted him to have a good relationship with them, even if his own trust in them had been shattered. Roman had managed to get Virgil to still have dinner with them on most nights, on the condition that he never let him be the last to leave, and that he would stop Patton and Logan from trying to get him to join meals when he didn't come out on his own. It wasn't a total victory, since Virgil just ate his dinner in silence, scowling at anyone who tried to engage him in conversation, but still, it was better than Virgil locking himself in his room except to collect something to eat from the kitchen. Virgil had gotten back in the habit of intimidating the others into respecting him, which would seem to be what was happening right now. "Pops here is having a dilemma. He wants to scold me, but he is stuck on the fact that I made a pun." Virgil smirked amused, leaning his head to the side as if curious to see what Patton would do next. Roman focused for a moment, and once he saw what Virgil had said to Thomas, he couldn't help a snicker. Stress this out. He knew Virgil hadn't truly meant it in a mean way. He could tell from Thomas's memory of the way he'd laughed. Virgil had genuinely thought it was a funny joke. And it was. Later, once Roman and the others had calmed his nerves about the tour, Thomas might think so too. But right now, as clever as the wordplay was anxiety, it was not very helpful, he offered. "Come on, Patton, let's address all these concerns with Thomas, all right?" he suggested. "And anxiety, when we get back, I have an idea for another vine I want to talk over with you. Just so you know, I'll be looking for you soon." Virgil rolled his eyes and started walking up the stairs. "Lucky me," he grumbled sarcastically. Roman shook his head, and Virgil called him overly dramatic. "He's doing it again," Patton observed when they heard Virgil's door fall shut. "Yes, well, he's always extra broody when a big project is coming up, and the tour is by far a most magnificent adventure yet," Roman reasoned. "Not that. I mean, letting you close by pushing us away," Patton observed. Roman was not sure how to respond to that. Patton luckily assumed his hesitance meant confusion. "Logan and I aren't allowed to even talk to him lately, it seems. But you? He's not polite or friendly, but he lets you talk to him. He's willing to work with you. Why?" Roman thought about that for a moment, unsure how to explain why Virgil was pushing the others away, and not him. Luckily, Logan had arrived and heard Patton's question. "If I may," both Patton and Roman jumped. They had not heard Logan enter. "My apologies. I suspect anxiety's departure has masked my arrival. I did not mean to startle you," he offered gently. "To answer your question, Patton, I suspect this is due to the fact that Roman was not aware of the seat's warnings and had not started treating him different since being clued in. He is assured that Roman's attitude towards him, good or bad, is genuine. He might prefer that over potentially false hospitality or friendship from either of us. Due to last month's revelations, What little trust we managed to build with him has been broken, and rebuilding it will be hard. Roman cocked his head curiously. Aren't you going to say that now that you guys know that Thomas isn't really in danger if anxiety doesn't feel at home here, there's no point in that anyway? He wondered. Logan wasn't cruel. He was practical. Roman would expect him to just take Virgil's behavior at face value, conclude that he wanted to be alone, and leave him be. A few months ago, I might have, but I have grown to appreciate anxiety's presence at the table. From before the reveal, I mean. That warmed Roman's heart. Logan had gotten a soft spot for Virgil. Anyway, I could help then, Roman offered. As far as those two were concerned, he was still mostly doing this to make them happy. His interactions with Virgil were, as far as the others were concerned, strictly professional. That's really sweet, Roman, but if what Logan says is true, then anxiety will only push you away as well if he thinks you are acting on our behalf, Patton said. Indeed, your progress with anxiety is beyond remarkable. And while it is appreciated that you want to let us share in the figurative fruits of your success, it is not worth it to risk you losing his tolerance as well. Roman didn't miss that Logan said tolerance, not trust, that time. Oh well, it just meant that he was still successful in keeping his promise. Very well. Now, let's assist Thomas, he declared, as he led the way to the outside world. When Roman got back, he found Virgil just lounging on his bed. Oh no, please, make yourself at home. Virgil grinned as he stretched himself out. Thanks, I will. Roman rolled his eyes. You don't have to put on the act with me, remember? He asked as he sat down next to him on the bed. Are you all right? He asked gently. Virgil was silent for a moment, before letting out a long sigh as he got up. He rubbed his eyes. Exhausted. I can't wait until the tour is over, he muttered. Your effort is appreciated, Roman assured him. It's whatever, Princey. Virgil assured him with a dismissive wave before stealing his hand palm up. Just show me that ID you had. Roman jumped up eagerly and rushed to his desk, making Virgil chuckle. Prince is dashing through the fields and forests. Darling, he calls outwardly. Darling, where are you? Suddenly he comes to a stop. Nemesis is backed against a tree. A snow-white cat is mewling and pressing up against his legs, asking for attention. Get your monster away from me, he demands. Prince squeals as Nemesis lets out a frustrated scream.